everyone, welcome to the new video of Data Analytics. Today's video is about how to perform one sample t-test in SPSS. One sample t-test is a parametric test used to determine whether one sample is differentiated from the average value. Here in this data set, we can see adoption level is the main variable which we can measure by using 6 components, that is affordability, applicability, accessibility, availability, accountability and acceptability. Hence we have to check whether these components and the variables have average value of 3 or greater than or less than 3. First of all, we have to check the introduction of one sample t-test. One sample t-test. The purpose of one sample t-test is to determine whether the mean of single sample is significantly different from a non-population or a specific value. Here the specific value is 3, that is an average. It means comparing the population mean to see if it is significantly different from 3. Hence the following hypothesis is formulated and tested. The null hypothesis is that population mean is equal to specific value. In this study, there is an average level of adoption level of ICT. The alternative hypothesis is that population mean is not equal to specific value. That means there is not an average level of adoption level of ICT. Okay. Then we have to move for the steps of one sample t-test in SPSS. First of all, we have to click on Analyze. Here, compare means one sample t-test. Select all the components and the variable adoption level. Affordability, applicability, accessibility, availability, accountability, acceptability and the overall adoption level. Moving to the right side. From the option, we can see that the confidence interval percentage, that is 95%, that is significance value of 5%. Continue. And we have to give the test value, that is a specific value, that is 3. Then click OK. Here it is the result of one sample t-test. We can see there are 2 important columns. First of all, one sample statistics. Secondly, one sample test result. Here we can see that the one sample statistics has 5 important columns, that is components and variables, n, mean, standard deviation and standard error. Here from this table, we can understand that affordability, applicability, accessibility, availability and acceptability have the mean score of above 3. That is, the first component has the mean score of 3.456. Second component has the mean score of 3.782. Third component has the mean score of 3.705. Fourth component has the mean score of 3.44. Sixth component has the mean score of 3.406. And regarding the overall adoption level, the mean score is 3.481. And only one component has a mean score of 3.09, which is an equal to 3. Hence, we can say that only an average level of accountability regarding ICT. Hence, the result is verified with the help of one sample test result. Here the test value, that is equal to 3. And the first column, that is the t value or the test statistic. Then degree of freedom, that is n-1. Significance value, that is two-tailed significance value. Mean difference. Then 95% confidence interval difference. in lower and upper cases. In the first case, we can see that the t-value of 4.925 and the significance value is 0.000. Second case regarding applicability, t-value is 10.00, significance value is 0.000. The third case accessibility, the t-value is 8.479 and the significance value is 0.000. Regarding availability, the t-value is 4.874, significance value is 0.000. And with respect to accountability, the t-value is 0.961 and the significance value is 0.339. And regarding acceptability, the t-value is 4.694 and significance value is 0.000. And finally, with respect to adoption level, the t-value is 7.978 and the significance value is 0.000. Here, from this result, we can see that except accountability, all the components and variable have significance value less than 0.01, which means it is significant at 1% level of significance. Hence, we have to reject the null hypothesis. In the case of accountability, the significance value is greater than 0.05. Hence, we have failed in rejecting null hypothesis at 5% level of significance. Then we have to look for how we show the result in a research work or a project work. Yes, we can move into the table formulation. That is table, one sample, statistic and test result of adoption level. We have to create a new table regarding the test result, that is dimensions of adoption level, one sample statistics that differentiate in three columns, n, mean, standard deviation, one sample test, that is t-value, degree of freedom, significance value. The test value is equal to 3. Here we can see that all the values are pasted here, that is n, mean, standard deviation, t-value which is significant in 1%, hence we have given the 2 stars. In the case of affordability, applicability, accessibility, availability, acceptability and also adoption level. And we have to given the source, that is primary data, and the double star which indicate the significant at 1% level of significance. And in the case of accountability, the value is not significant at 5% level of significance and it is not given the star value or star mark. Let us look for the interpretation. The result of one sample t-test shows that affordability, the mean score is given in bracket, applicability, availability and acceptability have the mean score greater than 3. It means these factors have good level of influence on overall adoption level. Since all the p-values are less than 0.01, the null hypothesis is rejected at 1% level of significance. On the other hand, the mean score of accountability shows the value of 3.0933, which is equal to 3. These factors have average level of influence on overall adoption level. Hence, the null hypothesis is failed to reject at 5% level of significance. Overall, there is an average adoption level. There is an above average adoption level is in bracket 3.4812 on ICT with a test statistics of 7.978 and significance value of less than 0.01. Since the value is significant at 1%, the null hypothesis is rejected. Hence, regarding the first statement, that is population mean is equal to specific value, that is there is an average level of adoption level of ICT is accepted in the case of accountability only. There is not an average level of adoption level of ICT is accepted in other cases or the other components of adoption level, because all the value have the above average level of adoption level. This is regarding the interpretation of one sample t-test. Hope you understood the video. If you have any doubt, please comment below. Okay, thank you for watching.